this topic. Um, let's get to know each other, or let's get to know, or let me introduce myself with my own way. Okay, so wait a second. Yeah, very good. Okay, so what do these words tell you about me? Okay, there's a typo here. Okay, yeah, very good. So again, everyone, how many words can you see? Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. Okay, great, 5 words. So I want you all to think for 1 minute about what these words represent about me. What do they tell you about me? Okay, just think for 1 minute, and you can raise your hands if you want to talk. Okay, so Miss Summer raised her hand first.
Okay, so I think your daughter is Maria.
Yeah. It's my daughter's name. Yeah, great. So what about the rest? Yeah, anyone
And
else?
you love football as all men.
Yeah, actually, I used to play football a very long time ago. Yeah, professionally. Okay. Anyone else? Let's take a look at the chat box. Nothing. Oh yeah, Alia. Yeah, she's my. She used to be my colleague at Force. That's why she knows that I used to be a language instructor at Forest University in Alexandria. Yeah. What else? Yeah. What else?
What else? Educast because you have a channel on YouTube which you have podcasts for professionals and
Yeah.
workout aholic because you work a lot. Yeah.
I yeah I never find uh, enough time to take rest. That's it. And of course I like my job.
Yeah, I
I
can
like
tell.
teaching. That yeah, that's work all the time. Yeah, and actually I yeah, a lot of arguments happen a lot with my wife because of this. So I try to balance my time. Great. So Educast is a podcast for teachers and teacher trainers. In this podcast, I summarize teaching books um, for teachers and teacher trainers. And
حدا راح عنده الصوت.
Oh, yes, maybe he has a network problem.
يس حياتي بس لأنه يمكن الدكتور طلع من الميتينج.
ده الجو برد.
Okay, so is my voice clear now?
Yes, Mr. Mohammed, it's clear.
Yeah, thank you. So sorry about that. Okay, let's get back. So again, everyone, so since we are talking about MFP, so can anyone tell me what these letters represent? What do they mean? What do we mean by MFP?
Meaning, form, pronunciation,
Yeah, meaning,
or
form,
phonology.
and yeah, that's right. Meaning, form, and pronunciation. Very good. So today, inshallah, we're going to talk about what is language analysis? What do we mean by language analysis? And why do we analyze language? What do we analyze in a systems listen, and how to present after analyzing whether a grammar item or a vocabulary item. Okay, so let's get started. So everyone, can you see my presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great. So very good. Okay, so everyone, I want you to take 1 minute to think about what language analysis is. What do we mean by language analysis? And why do we analyze language? Okay, you can type your answers in the chat box. Okay, so again, what is language analysis and why do we analyze language? The first question is, what is language analysis? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone raise his hand or her hand? Okay, so Aya,
Uh,
okay, you can talk.
sorry, I'm not studying literature, but what I want to say is the understanding of a language. For example, if we are talking in literature, so we have to understand the meaning of the metaphors and the figures of speech inside a text or inside a paragraph of in a specific novel or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, very close. Yeah, very good. So it's having an idea about what to present. Yeah, yeah. So Alia says in the chat box, language analysis is breaking down the item to be simpler and to know how to use it. Very good, Alia. Excellent. Okay. So analyzing language means having a good idea of what is presented to your learners. Of course, you all as teachers need to be fully aware of the language presented in your classrooms. Okay. And okay, so we analyze language to find out how simple or difficult an area of language is so that we can teach it simply to our students. And also, we analyze language to anticipate problems. Some students ask teachers who are not prepared well questions, and then the teacher tries to think of the answer, tries to find a way to respond to his students' needs. Okay, so if the teacher prepares himself well, if he analyzes the language well, he will be able to anticipate problems the students may have and to avoid unnecessary problems when introducing the language. Okay, and of course, it enables us to correct our students' mistakes and answer their questions about language. Okay, so what do we analyze in a language system lesson? Of course, if we're teaching a language system lesson, we're teaching grammar or vocabulary. So we are analyzing the meaning, form, and pronunciation MFP or MPF. What only matters is that you have to start always with the meaning. Meaning always comes first, then form or pronunciation as you like. Okay. So what problems may arise in meaning, form, and pronunciation? Okay, I want you now to think in groups, okay, about the answer of this questions. Okay, what problems may arise in meaning, form, and pronunciation? I'm gonna break you down into rooms, and I want you to think together. Okay, Miss Summer, I cannot find the breakout rooms. Summer, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm trying to do it from my side. Just wait.
Okay. So again, yeah, what problems may arise in meaning, form, and pronunciation.
I think I can't make it from my side because I'm on my phone. So
Yeah.
you just try to
Okay.
widen your screen. Maybe it will appear down.
Okay. Well, okay. So we don't have to use this feature. Okay. So everyone, I want you now to tell me, okay, what problems may arise in meaning, for example, when teaching our students. What problems will your students have in meaning when teaching grammar or vocabulary? So I only see Aya. Anyone else? Okay, well, in the chat box, having different backgrounds, that's right, Sliman. Sometimes some new vocabulary has, yeah, ambiguous meaning and yeah, it's difficult to guess. That's right, select, oh, okay, you're talking about, no, it's not here. Okay, it's not in the options, Ali. Okay, but it's okay. So inability to link between the given context and their lives. That's interesting. Okay, very good. So there are a lot of problems that may arise in meaning, like, yeah, meaning is sometimes very complex, abstract, or difficult to grasp. Sometimes you have to explain the meaning of a word like the word civilization, for example. So it can be a little bit challenging to teach and a little bit challenging from the student side as well. Okay, sometimes the concept doesn't exist in the learner's own language. Yeah, because the different cultures
اللي هو شغال بيه
between
ده واحد من الشباب عندنا
yeah.
محاضرة شغالة في مصر دلوقتي هو ترامب.
Okay, so sometimes we teach classes with different cultures. Okay, so it might not be, the concept itself might not be clear to students or other. Okay, so a different meaning in the student's first language. Okay, so some words in English, for example, like the word drink, it can mean, or it can have some kind of meaning, but here we only know water or juice, but it can have another meaning and in English, for example, for British people or for other nationalities. Okay, and the language item has more than one meaning in English. It depends on the context you're using. Okay, so some words have a meaning in a sentence and have another meaning in another sentence or another context. Well, that's about the meaning. About the form, there are a lot of problems in this part because sometimes there are some problems in the word order in a sentence. Some grammatical rules may be more difficult for the students to grasp. The part of speech, regular versus irregular forms of verbs. Some students cannot identify the past simple or past participle form of some verbs. Spelling, over generalization of the rule, because sometimes we have some odd rules, okay, or irregular rules. And about the pronunciation part, the first language interference,
Hello, dear teacher. Sorry for this inconvenience, but I think he has a bad connection again. Just wait for a moment. Inshallah, he will return.
نحن عنا بلبنان هيك كمان أمرات البروفيسور ما بيكون عنده لا إرسال ولا شيء، يعني ما بيكفي مش إنترنت، حتى إرسال ما بيكون فيه.
His internet was good, but I don't know what happened just this time, because he always doing broadcast and something like workshops, but this time, I don't know, maybe something wrong happened to his connection. I think he has
Okay,
stopped
back
talking
again.
about pronunciation, right?
Yeah.
Hello again, Mr.
That's the part I stopped at. Okay. So again, can you hear my voice?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Okay, so again, we're talking about pronunciation problems that may arise. Again, we said that the first language interference might be a big factor, okay, that causes a lot of problems. Spelling versus pronunciation, silent letters, contractions like I have, and of. Weak forms like could have, could have, and so on. Okay, and we also have, okay, and we also have word and sentence stress might be a little bit problematic for our students. Okay, so let's move it Okay, of course, we have an intonation problem. Okay, so when analyzing language systems, again, we analyze grammatical items or vocabulary items. So how do we analyze grammar? How do we analyze grammar? If we have a grammar item and we need to analyze it, again, we said that, we said that we have to analyze meaning, form, and pronunciation. So what stages or what steps do we have to take to analyze a grammar item? Okay, so first, we can decide on the grammar item or select the grammar item we want to teach. Okay, then we have to see whether we are clear about what is included and what isn't included. And this is a big part and an important one, because some teachers start teaching some grammatical items in the classroom, and when they start having the students practice this grammar item, well, the students stop. Okay, teacher, we don't know what to do. Okay, it's another part, it's another use of the grammar item, it's another meaning. So we have to analyze all of this and be sure about what to include and what not to include. Okay, and then we have to list situation, places, and relationships in which the language is typically used. Okay, we have to personalize or come up with sentences related to the students' lives. Okay, because this is really important for the students to learn. Then we have to brainstorm between 5 and 10 typical everyday sentences that use the grammatical item in a natural way. After that, we have to select one of these sentences as a target one, the easiest one, the one that serves my selection, that serves my objective, that serves the meaning I'm teaching. Okay, and it should be realistic and natural, and again related to the students' real life. Okay, we have to then decide on a situational context or a possible text that we could use to focus on the language itself. And then we have to analyze the meaning first before the form. Yeah, we have to analyze the meaning, and if the meaning is clear, we can check the meaning with concept checking questions. If it's not clear, we have to support it with some kind of, pictures, timelines, if we are teaching grammar. Okay, then we have to analyze the form of the target sentence. After that, we move to analyzing the pronunciation of the target sentence. Then we have to analyze typical student problems likely with the target sentence, which we call anticipating the students' problems. Okay, what problems may arise with the students in meaning, form, and pronunciation? We have to be fully prepared. Okay, then we have to decide what we hope learners could achieve in a lesson on this item, what my objectives are. Okay, and we have to write this as a main aim for the lesson. For example, if we're teaching the present perfect, we might say that the students by the end of the lesson will be able to identify and use the present perfect tense, for example, to talk about their life experiences through writing a paragraph. Okay, so now let's move to an example of how we analyze a grammar item. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. Okay, so can anyone read it? The main use needed for the grammar lesson. Yes, that's right, Ali. Okay, so I need someone to read it. I cannot see the participants from here. Yes. Yeah, okay, you can.
Okay, I have just finished my first challenge.
Yeah, I've just finished my first challenge. That's right. Okay, so let me ask someone else. Okay, Sulaiman, you raised your hands.
Yes, Mr. Mohammed.
Yeah. Nice to hear your voice. Great. So,
Okay,
of
thanks.
course, of course, yes, this tense in this sentence, right? Yeah,
Again, please.
The tense of this sentence here.
Yeah, this is present perfect.
Yeah, the present perfect. So, if you're gonna analyze this sentence, what do you have to analyze?
Well, first I gotta start with the helping verb.
No, analyzing. Yes, we have three things to analyze here. Yeah.
Of.
We start with the meaning. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, meaning. Then
The meaning, and then the form, and then the pronunciation. But that's applied for vocab, not grammar. Hello? Hello, Mr. Mohammed. Hello?
We listen you, Mr. Sulaiman, but I think there is some internet issue with Mr. Mohammed. We'll
Okay,
come back.
that's fine. All right.
Mr. Sulaiman, can you complete your point of view, please?
All right, I was just saying that for grammar item, I can, the grammar item that was presented here, I can say that I'll start with a present perfect. Not start with that, of course. I would start with the tense, right? The time that I'm talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would
Go on.
start
Go
with
on.
the-
Yeah, go on.
Yes, as I was saying, what's the purpose of this whole sentence? It's about a recent action, all right?
Yeah.
And then that's it, of course, at an unspecified time frame. And
Right.
then I'll just say, I'll begin by explaining the form, all right? Meaning that this is, I have to use a helping verb. I have to use the verb in the past participle case or the past participle condition. And then I'd begin by explaining, I'd begin listing examples from students, and then that'll be all, right?
Yeah. Okay.
All
So,
right.
Right. So this is what to do when we present the grammar item, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So here we're talking about analyzing this grammar item. We have to deal with meaning, form, and pronunciation. We have to analyze meaning first. So this sentence is obviously talking about a recent complete action at a time which is not specified, and this time is before now, so it started in the past, and it has a present result. Okay, and then here comes the form. We start with the subject, which is I, then have in the short form, and write the long form, and then finish, which is the main verb in the past participle form. Then comes the pronunciation part, and the third part of this analysis. Okay, so we write this transcription focusing on the intonation, sentence stress, the contractions, and all of these things. We have to put them in our consideration. So again, we have to deal with meaning first. Meaning always comes first, then form, and at the end we finish with the pronunciation. Okay.
But Mr. Mohammed, is it suggested to introduce students to the actual transcription like that? Wouldn't that scare them?
Well, this will be, well, sometimes I think that you have to train your students from the first day of school, you know, so, and help them some kind of, to be some kind of autonomous learners, you know. You can guide them to use dictionaries in the classroom, familiarize them with these symbols, okay, the phonetic symbols and transcriptions. Then in any grammar lesson or vocabulary lesson, I don't see that it would be a problem for them if they are already familiar with that.
Okay. What if I'm using drilling instead of introducing them, especially with younger ages, you know? Younger ages are very difficult to handle such things. So I usually use drilling to replace that. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course it's okay. Of course, it's all about drilling, by the way, for young learners and adults. But we use transcriptions with adults or maybe teenagers, right? Teenagers and adults, not young learners, because
Yes.
this, yes, as you said,
Would be
it
terrible.
might scare them. Yeah.
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 Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Aya.
Actually, I want to add something. In philosophy, we have two kinds of schools, which the first one you have mentioned, meaning, form, pronunciation. But the second one, it starts like from pronunciation, form, then meaning. So what's the difference between these two schools?
Now, listen up. When teaching grammar or vocabulary, you have to start with the meaning first, because if the meaning is unclear for the student, you cannot tell him about the form. You know, he has to grasp the meaning of the target language first, okay, and familiarize him with him or her, of course, with the form, okay, that the sentence consists of. Then how to pronounce that, or you can start with the meaning, then how to pronounce this target or this item. After that, you can elicit the form. So things are a little bit different here. Okay, so we follow MFP or MPF, but what only matters is that you have to start with meaning first. Okay, because if you, as my tutor in my CILTA course once said, if you got if you don't have meaning, you have nothing. Okay, so why should you start with pronunciation or form if you don't have meaning? You can't do this here. Okay. Okay, very good. So we have 3 examples here. And again, I don't have the breakout rooms feature here, but okay. So I'm gonna ask you to look at these 3 examples and try to analyze meaning, form, and pronunciation of one of them, just one of them. Okay, let's talk about the first one, for example. Choose something you have never done before. How are you going to analyze this? Okay, what items or what things are you going to analyze in the chat box? Yes, that's right, Ali. We try to teach without using terminology. Okay, I'm waiting for yeah, you have never done before something that is new to you. Okay. Anyone else? I'm still looking at the chat box. An action that we did not do yet, but maybe we are thinking about doing it. Okay, we're still waiting. Something new to you. I've never been to this one. Okay. So a life experience. So that's the meaning. You all are talking about the meaning, right? Yeah, that's the form, Sulaiman. That's right. Subject, and we have an adverb, then the past participle of the main verb. Yeah. You will concentrate on the word ever here that serves the meaning you're teaching. Okay. Yeah, great. Very good. And then comes the pronunciation part. And of course, you cannot, yeah, you will take much time copying the transcriptions from websites or things like that. So let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah. Okay, great. So I have seen some great answers in the chat box. And let me tell you something, because your answers were different here in the chat box. But we need to come up with one product, okay, for one marker sentence where we teach meaning, form, and pronunciation. So we need to have just one resource, okay? So if you want to get the meaning from a grade book here, you can take a look at English Grammar for English Language Teachers, okay, by Martin Parrott. Okay, this is where you can get the meaning for the present perfect or any other grammar item. Okay, if we're talking about anticipating problems and preparing yourselves as teachers before getting, you know, or going to the classroom, you have to anticipate the students' problems. Yeah, How to Teach Grammar by Scott Thornberry is great as well. Yeah, he's one of the greatest ever. Okay, and this is for language interference. We also have Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary, the 10th edition. That's for getting the meaning of vocabulary. Okay, because again, you have to teach something authentic. Okay, I'm confused. The answers are, oh yes, that's what I meant, Iman. We have to come up with just one answer. So if we have some kind of, you know, the same resources, so we can get, yeah, grammar for English, grammar, yes, yeah, grammar in use, yeah, that's right. Okay, and there is a website that I would like to recommend. It's to Phonetics. Okay, you can get the transcriptions, highlight the weak forms in British or American accents. I'm going to share all of these material with you after we're done from this session. Okay. So again, resources are a lot. You can find numerous resources, but what matters is that you have to come up with the correct meaning, the correct form, and the correct pronunciation so that you can teach it. Okay. Yeah, constant questions and timelines. There are a lot of books. Very good. Yes, that's right, Fatma. Okay. So everyone, let's take a look about how to present the item that we have just analyzed. Again, we said that we analyzed meaning, form, then pronunciation. Okay, so if you're going to present a grammar item, you have to use some kind of context. This context might be a listen like reading or listening. So I have chosen here a reading example. Okay, and this is what should be done. First, you have to ask the students to predict what the text is about. Look by looking at the title and the pictures in a reading text. Okay, and then ask them to read silently, to answer just questions, to read for just or the main idea or the general understanding. If needed, you can ask them some reading for specific information. Then you have to move on reflection. You have to ask the students to discuss. Okay. It's a comprehension question. It's a post-reading question to have the students reflect on what they have read. Okay, so first prediction, second gist, and then reflection. Okay, so then we move to highlighting the target language. Okay, I'm teaching the present perfect simple, for example, so we have to get the sentences that serve my objective. Again, if I'm teaching the present perfect and it's used for talking about life experiences, so we have to get some examples or sentences from the reading text that they have just finished reading. Okay, so number one, highlighting the target language. Number two, clarifying the meaning Okay, you can use timelines, you can use pictures, you can use examples, you can use whatever you want to clarify the meaning. Then you have to check the meaning using something that is called concept checking questions. Okay, so we have an example here, which is I have just finished my first challenge. Okay, so here I used a timeline, okay, to clarify the meaning. Okay, so in the timeline here, the action started in the past and continued up to now. So we have a present result now. Okay, yes, I started in the past and I finished it. Okay, so here the meaning, to ask about the meaning. Okay, so the meaning should be clear after showing the students this timeline. Now we have to come to checking the students' understanding of the meaning using concept checking questions. So you can use them questions like, did he start the challenge in the past? The answer should be yes. Did he say when it happened? Of course not, because time is not specified. And is there a result in the present? They would say yes, because the arrow ends here, ends now. Okay, so now the meaning is some kind of clear. Okay, if it's not clear, you can try to clarify it using some other ways, like other examples, like pictures. You know, there are some kind of animated pictures. They describe everything. They can illustrate what you want to convey here. Okay, so then we have to move to the form, okay, to analyze it, elicit the form, don't tell them. Okay, so ask them, what did we start first? The subject, then have or apostrophe VE. So we can have in some other sentences or some other statements, we can have has instead of have, depending on the subject, then just the adverb, and then the main verb in the past participle. After that, the pronunciation part, and then model and drilled. So model and drill. Okay, so you can say, everyone listen and repeat after me. Finished, finished, just finished, just finished, I've just finished, I've just finished. Okay, so this is this is back chaining drill. Okay, and you don't have to show them the transcription if they are young learners, as Mr. Sulaiman said before. So this is how to present a grammar item. Okay, now let's move to how to analyze a vocabulary item again. So can anyone tell me what again we have to analyze in a vocabulary item? We have to analyze 3 things. Anyone?
MFP.
Yeah, MFP. So again, M stands for meaning, F for form and pronunciation, P for pronunciation. Okay, so this is the verb, visualize. Okay, so again, the meaning is to form a picture of somebody or something in your mind. I got this meaning from Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary. Okay, because again, we don't want to come up with different meanings. Okay, and then the form. Yeah, yes, Mr. Sulaiman.
Excuse me, Mr. Mohammed. So is
Yeah.
it when I'm actually teaching a vocabulary, am I supposed to present them with the meaning, the form, and the pronunciation, or should I choose a more innovative way or a more approachable way to students to actually present them to the meaning, present them to the form, and present them to the pronunciation? I mean, like, not, hey, this is the meaning, and this is the form, and this is the pronunciation. No, I actually take it into
No, no,
a
no. Of
much
course, you have to
deeper
elicit
level, right?
everything. No, no, no.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
So
yeah.
illustrating is the purpose, right? Not just
Yes,
presenting
yes.
the meaning, right?
I completely agree with you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So the form here is obviously a verb. It's a regular verb. Okay. And the pronunciation is like that, visualize. Okay. So how to present the meaning? Again, you have to provide the students with a meaningful context. Okay. So that they can come up with the meaning, so that you can elicit the meaning from your students. Okay, so here I used a listening audio. Okay, it's a story about someone killed someone called Mr. Jackson. So I want all of you to listen to this story and say who killed Mr. Jackson. Okay, everyone, again, you're gonna listen to a story and say who killed Mr. Jackson. Okay, so let's start. Let's check if I'm yes, sharing sound. Great.
The perfect crime. Alice Jackson is a happily married woman. She loves her baby son and she adores her husband, Henry. Tonight is her 10th wedding anniversary and some friends are coming round to have a drink. Everything seems perfect, but Alice's life is going to change.
Hello, darling. Have some beer.
Sit down. I've got something to say. I'm sorry. I know it's a bad time to tell you. It's our anniversary. But it's just that Kathy and I are in love. Oh, Bobby won't miss me. He's too young.
I'll get ready for the party.
What on earth? Oh!
Hello? Police, please. Hello? Is that the police? Come quickly. It's my husband. Something awful has happened to him.
Detective Perry, Mrs. Jackson.
Is he all right?
Burglars. Sit down, Mrs. Jackson. Sergeant Taylor, get Mrs. Jackson a drink. A brandy with some ice. Phew, it's hot in this room. I hope you understand.
Mr. Mohammed, it has been stopped. No voice. I think he has bad connection again. So who got the answer of his question? Hello? Did anyone know the answer? So Mrs. Sally says it's the wife. Who else? Yes, Mrs. Fatma. But at the beginning, when she called the police, I see that she was calm. Then she became more nervous. I think he killed himself. I don't know.
I'm back again.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This is the first time that something
Yeah,
like
I
that
see.
happens to me.
I see. It happens. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
We were discussing who was the killer. Yeah, some people say that maybe it's his wife. I think he killed himself. I don't know.
Yeah, no. His wife killed him. Yeah, she's a mean one. Yeah. Okay, that's why I was laughing before I got disconnected. Okay, so everyone, let's get back to finish this part before the internet connection gets bad again. Okay, so again, we're supposed to have known the killer, which is Mr. Jackson's wife. Okay, so I have now provided with a meaningful context. The story was using, it was full of actions, and it was some kind of mystery that helped the students, try to discuss together who killed him. Okay, so now I have to bring or highlight a target language or a sentence, a marker sentence. And for you, I personalized this example. The teachers or you visualized the story events to understand it. Here I used the target item, visualize, okay? So let me ask you, did you see the events of the story? Anyone? Did you see the events of the story or just listen? Okay, no. You were just listening. Okay, okay, a second. Okay, so did you imagine the events while listening? Yeah, yeah. Were you trying to imagine the events? Yes, that's right. Okay. Did you form some kind of pictures in your mind of the story so that you can understand it? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, very good. Okay. So if the student answered the questions like that, so they got the meaning of visualize. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So you visualized how she killed her wife. Okay. So the form is obvious. It's a verb in this sentence. Okay. And then you have to model and drill the word visualized, visualized. Okay. And then you're done with presenting this vocabulary item. You dealt with the meaning, form, and pronunciation. You started by analyzing them first, then moving to presenting. So that's all for today, and sorry for the terrible internet connection. Yeah, it wasn't planned at all. So I hope you benefited from today's session. We were talking about MFP, and let me ask Islam Farag. Islam, can you please unmute yourself? Yeah, that's right. That's right, Fatma. Okay. Islam, can you hear me? Okay, so he might be facing some problems. So everyone, any questions in the chat box? I'm waiting for your questions, and I would gladly. So I would like to say something.
Yeah, actually, I'm not a teacher, but I'm a student, so I passed through all these experiences. But throughout learning Spanish, I used for training for grammar forms and this stuff. I used to listen to music, which has the same topic. For example, if we are just like studying past. At the past tense, so I prefer to search for music that includes past tenses. And in Spanish, we have something it's called subjunctive. I don't know if it's like the same as English rules, but because I don't actually know how does it look like in English. But yeah, and there's a lot like of what is it? Yeah, songs that speaks about this, that includes this tense.
Yeah, great to hear that. So thanks, Fatma. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ms. Summer, for hosting this event or for hosting this session. Inshallah, our next session will be about motivating and understanding learners by the wonderful Ms. Shayma. She is an assessment specialist at Forest University in Alexandria. You're welcome, Sulaiman. Should I explain the form and rule for young learners or depend them? Well, Iman, it depends on how you present. Yeah, and rule for young learners or depend on acquisition since they cannot recognize the rule. Well, okay, first you have to provide them with a meaningful context and try to personalize the context. Personalize it, relate it to their own lives. Okay, That's how they are going to understand what you're going to present easily. And then you can elicit the meaning, form, and pronunciation, or meaning and form from them. Okay, so for example, the young learners always like to learn using videos, using pictures, you know. So try to use something that attracts their attention and engages them. Then you will find it really easy to get the meaning and form from them. You're welcome, Sally. You're welcome, Ms. Summer. Thanks, everyone. Any other questions?
Merci كتير. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Thank you. So again, inshallah, our next session will be about motivating and understanding learners by the assessment specialist at Forest University in Alexandria, Ms. Shayma. Inshallah, it will be next Tuesday at 10 p.m. Cairo time. Okay, thanks again and goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. It was a great session. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.